Welcome to Value Vest Daily, where we analyze the best value and momentum investment opportunities. Now today, we're diving into the hardware that powers the entire AI revolution. Because if you want to invest in this space, you've got to understand the engines. And right now, the AI revolution is running on silicon, but not all silicon is created equal. On one side, you have the reigning champ, the GPU. On the other, you have this specialized challenger, the TPU. So what's the deal? Why are there two different kinds of chips battling for AI's brain? Well, to get it, we have to understand their core philosophies. Let's dive in. Oh, and of course, a quick reminder, this is not financial or tax advice.
You know, the best way to get your head around this is with a really simple analogy. Think of a GPU. It's like the ultimate Swiss Army knife. It is an incredibly flexible, do-anything tool that can handle pretty much any job you throw at it. The TPU, though, that's more like a master chef's Santoku knife. It is forged for one single purpose. But at that one task, it is unbelievably, almost impossibly efficient.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with that big picture philosophy, then we'll zoom right into the silicon to see how these things are actually built. Then we'll uncover the secret sauce that makes the TPU so darn efficient, and finally, we'll zoom back out to see where these chips are actually winning in the real world. So let's get into it. This isn't just about technical specs. It's a fundamental clash of design philosophies, and it's all driven by two totally different business models. I love this quote from our source material because it just nails the dynamic. The GPU is that accessible, powerful tool that's ready for anything. The TPU? Well, it's a specialized weapon, an elegant tool for a more civilized age of AI, you might say. But it really does require a very specific kind of user, a Jedi, if you will, to unlock its full power. And here's the crucial part. NVIDIA has to build that Swiss Army knife because they sell to literally everyone. A GPU has to be able to render the latest video game, simulate molecular dynamics for a scientist, power a Hollywood designer's workstation, and train a huge language model. That just requires immense, mind-bending flexibility. Google, on the other hand, is building that chef's knife. Why? Because they only have one customer to make happy: themselves. They design TPUs specifically for the gigantic, but also pretty narrow set of AI jobs they run at a planetary scale. We're talking Google search, YouTube recommendations, and training their own Gemini models. Okay, so how does this whole build for everyone versus build for one philosophy actually translate into the physical chips? Let's pop the hood and take a look. All right, now this table, this really lays out the trade-off so clearly. Look at the GPU side. You've got thousands of flexible little CUDA core that are ready for any task. TPUs? They just rip all that out and replace it with two giant factories built only for AI math. And check out data precision. GPUs have to support every format under the sun, while TPUs are hardwired for just the types AI needs. And it all leads to that bottom line: power usage. All that flexibility, well, it costs a ton of electricity. And this visual just hammers that point home. Right on the left, you've got the GPU's army of generalist workers ready to be deployed anywhere. On the right, you have the TPU's dedicated, hyper-efficient assembly line. It is a completely different way of thinking about how you do computation. Now, this chart, this shows the payoff for all that specialization. T-flops per watt is just a fancy way of measuring energy efficiency. Basically, how much AI math can you get done for every bit of electricity you burn? And as you can see, while NVIDIA's new chips are getting better, Google's TPU is just in another league. When you're running a massive data center, that difference translates into millions and millions of dollars in electricity savings. So that incredible efficiency, it doesn't come from magic. It comes from a very specific, very clever architectural innovation that is the absolute heart of the TPU's design. So let's pull back the curtain on Google's secret sauce. So what is it? What on earth allows the TPU to hit that level of performance while sipping so much less power? The answer is something called the systolic array. Now, the name actually comes from the word systole, which is the contraction of the human heart. And you know what? It is a perfect analogy. It's a massive grid of tiny processing units where data isn't just fetched from memory, it's literally pumped through the grid in a perfect rhythmic wave. Every single component is working in perfect lockstep. Think of it like a perfectly choreographed assembly line. First, the AI model's data gets loaded into the grid. Second, the input data starts flowing across from left to right. Third, as that data passes through, partial results flow downwards, combining as they go. And finally, the completed answers just emerge continuously from the bottom. There is no wasted motion, no waiting around for memory. It is pure computational elegance. And the result of all this? Up to 95% computational utilization. Now, that number is just staggering. It means that when a TPU is doing its one special job, almost no part of that chip is just sitting around doing nothing. A GPU, with all its flexible parts and schedulers, might only hit 50 or 60% on the same task. The systolic array is an absolute masterpiece of efficiency. Okay, so we've seen the philosophy, we've seen the technology. Now let's zoom back out for the final section and see where all these differences actually matter. On the real-world battlefield, where is each chip actually winning? The GPU's flexibility makes it the undisputed king of, well, the rest of the world. The huge majority of the open source community, from PyTorch to Hugging Face, they all build on NVIDIA's CUDA platform. If you're a startup, a researcher, a gamer, or a customer of AWS and Azure, you are living in a GPU-dominated world. Their ecosystem is just unstoppable. But inside the walls of Google, and for big companies willing to adopt its tools on Google Cloud, the TPU is the clear winner. Google trains its massive models like Gemini exclusively on TPUs. It powers the AI behind search and YouTube, and it's even enabling incredible scientific breakthroughs like AlphaFold. In these very specific, massive scale areas, its cost and power efficiency are just unbeatable. And this right here is why this all matters to you. This isn't just some abstract tech fight in a data center somewhere. The reason Google Search can understand a really complex question and give you a synthesized answer in less than a second is because of the incredible efficiency of the TPUs running that query in the background. That TPU performance directly translates into the magic of the products you use every single day. So that brings us to our final thought. The TPU, that specialized chef's knife, is a near-perfect tool for the kind of AI we are building right now, these huge transformer models. But AI is changing at a breakneck pace. As new kinds of models emerge, the big question is, will the hyper-specialists be able to adapt? Or will the flexible Swiss Army knife prove to be the more enduring tool for the unknown future of AI? It's a fascinating question. Please subscribe, like, and share ValueVest Daily for daily learning opportunities before you put your money to work. And hey, please put in a comment if you want us to deep dive into any specific high-risk reward opportunities. Thanks for watching.